Your energy field is crackling right now. Can you feel it? That electric current running through your spine, that restlessness in your chest, that undeniable knowing that something enormous is shifting beneath the surface of your reality. You're not imagining this. On January 27, 2026, one day after Neptune permanently enters Aries for a 13-year cycle that will reshape humanity, Mars conjoins Pluto at 3 degrees Aquarius, and the collision of these two cosmic forces creates an activation so powerful that your soul is literally being reborn while you're still standing in your current life. This isn't a gradual shift, this is instantaneous metamorphosis. Your spirit has been preparing for this exact moment since before you took your first breath in this lifetime. And today, the universe stops whispering and starts commanding. The portal doesn't crack open, it explodes. You were meant to find this message right now because your frequency has already begun matching the vibration of what's unfolding. January 26 brought Neptune into Aries, the spiritual planet crossing into the warrior sign for the first time since the 1860s, initiating a once-in-a-lifetime transformation that will span until 2039. But today, January 27th, Mars, the ruler of Aries, the planet of action, will, courage, and primal life force, meets Pluto in Aquarius, the planet of death, rebirth, power, and collective evolution. When Mars and Pluto unite, they don't collaborate, they combust. They dissolve everything weak, everything false, everything that cannot withstand the intensity of your highest timeline. And with Neptune having just entered the sign, Mars rules. This conjunction carries a spiritual imperative, a cosmic assignment, a destiny activation that requires you to step into the version of yourself who fights for something sacred. Your soul chose this moment. Your higher self marked this date in the cosmic calendar before you incarnated. And whether you understand it yet or not, your entire life has been building toward what begins right now. Before we go deeper into this awakening, if you're already feeling the power of this energy, leave a like and subscribe so the algorithm knows you're ready for these cosmic downloads. And drop a comment saying I am the spiritual warrior to lock this frequency into your reality. Let's dive in. Right now, as you're reading these words, Neptune sits at 0 degrees Aries, the very first degree of the zodiac, the birth point of cosmic fire. Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, illusions, and divine inspiration, hasn't been in Aries since 1861 through 1875. That era brought the American Civil War, the abolition of slavery, massive social upheaval, and the beginning of movements that would reshape society for generations. Neptune dissolves boundaries. Neptune spiritualizes whatever it touches. And in Aries, the sign of the warrior, the pioneer, the self, Neptune brings a spiritual call to arms. This is not passive mysticism. This is not sitting in meditation waiting for the universe to fix your problems. Neptune, in Aries, demands that you become the agent of your own spiritual evolution, that you take action on your visions, that you fight for your ideals with every fiber of your being. The dreams you've been carrying are no longer optional, they are assignments. Neptune will remain in Aries until 2038, meaning this 13-year cycle will define the spiritual and creative landscape of your entire life moving forward. This transit asks one question: what are you willing to sacrifice for, to fight for, to devote your entire existence to? Not in theory, in practice. What vision burns so brightly in your soul that you would risk everything to make it real? Neptune in Aries doesn't believe in half measures. It doesn't recognize fear as an excuse. It strips away the comfortable illusions you've been hiding behind and replaces them with raw, undeniable spiritual truth. You are here to create something that matters. You are here to lead with courage. You are here to inspire others through your willingness to be first, to be bold, to be unapologetically aligned with your highest calling. And starting yesterday, January 26th, when Neptune crossed the threshold into Aries, the universe began recalibrating your entire spiritual operating system to match this frequency. But today, January 27th, takes this energy to an entirely different level of intensity. Mars at 3 degrees and 34 minutes, Aquarius, forms an exact conjunction with Pluto at the same degree. Mars conjunct Pluto is one of the most powerful, most transformative, most potentially explosive aspects in all of astrology. Mars is raw will. Mars is action, desire, courage, anger, passion, the life force that drives you forward. Pluto is death and rebirth. Pluto is power, transformation, the underworld, the force that destroys what must end so something greater can emerge. When these two planets meet, they create a cosmic pressure cooker of evolutionary energy that either transforms you or destroys the version of you that refuses to evolve. There is no middle ground. There is no staying the same. Mars conjunct Pluto forces change at the cellular level of your being. In Aquarius, the sign of revolution, innovation, collective consciousness, and humanitarian progress, this conjunction amplifies themes of power, control, social change, and the restructuring of systems. Aquarius rules groups, communities, friendships, technology, and the collective vision for humanity's future. Mars conjunct Pluto here means power struggles within communities, revolutionary movements gaining momentum, the death of old social structures and the birth of new ones, technology being weaponized or liberated, collective action reaching a boiling point. And on a personal level, this conjunction activates your relationship to power itself. How do you wield it? How do you respond when others try to control you? What are you willing to destroy in order to create something better? What version of yourself must die so your highest self can finally live? This is not gentle astrology. This is the universe handing you a cosmic sword and asking if you're brave enough to use it. Mars conjunct Pluto can manifest as intense confrontations, power dynamics surfacing in relationships, sudden endings that feel like explosions, deep rage or anger rising from beneath the surface, or unstoppable drive to pursue something that feels bigger than you. If you've been feeling restless, furious, electrified, or like you're about to burst out of your own skin, this is why. The energy has been building for days, and today it reaches its peak activation. But here's what most astrology content won't tell you. This conjunction, combined with Neptune's entrance into Aries, is not destructive. It is directional. It is not chaos. It is cosmic surgery. The universe is removing everything in your life that cannot travel with you into the next 13 years of your destiny. And it's giving you the power, the courage, and the spiritual conviction to become the person who creates the future you've been dreaming about. Let's talk about who feels this most intensely. If you're an Aquarius, especially if you have planets or your rising sign between 0 and 5 degrees, Aquarius, this conjunction is happening directly on your chart. You are the epicenter of this transformation. Your identity, your presence, your entire energy field is being reborn. You may feel like you're shedding an old skin, like the person you were even a week ago no longer fits. This is your power activation moment. The universe is asking you to step into leadership, to claim your vision, to stop apologizing for your intensity. You are meant to lead revolutionary change. You are meant to inspire others through your courage. And over the next weeks and months, you will discover a level of personal power you didn't know existed within you. This is not ego, this is spiritual authority. Own it. If you're a Scorpio, Mars and Pluto are your ruling planets, making you the zodiac's natural transformer. This conjunction in your 4th house of home, family, roots, and emotional foundation means deep ancestral healing is happening. Old family patterns are dissolving. Toxic dynamics are ending. You may feel compelled to move, to change your living situation, to completely restructure what home means to you. The foundation of your life is being rebuilt from the ground up. This is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. The new life you're creating requires a new foundation. Let the old one crumble. With Neptune entering your 6th house of health, work, and daily routines, you're also being called to spiritualize your daily life. Your work must have meaning. Your habits must support your highest self. Your body is becoming a temple for your spiritual warrior energy. If you're a Taurus, this conjunction squares your rising sign, creating friction, tension, and the need for change. You're being challenged to release control, to let go of stubbornness, to embrace radical transformation in how you show up in the world. Your fixed nature wants stability, but the universe is asking you to become fluid, to adapt, to trust the process of becoming someone new. Neptune entering your 12th house of spirituality, subconscious and hidden realms means you're entering a 13-year journey of deep spiritual awakening. Your intuition will become almost psychic, your dreams will carry messages, your connection to the unseen will strengthen dramatically. This is your initiation into spiritual warriorship through surrender. If you're a Leo, this conjunction opposes your sun sign, putting relationships, partnerships, and your relationship to others in the spotlight. Power dynamics with others are being exposed. You may experience intense interactions, endings of partnerships that no longer serve you, or the arrival of someone who challenges you to grow. Neptune in your 9th house of philosophy, higher learning, and spiritual belief systems means your entire worldview is being spiritualized and expanded. You're being called to become a visionary, to inspire others through your courage, to lead with both strength and compassion. The next 13 years will teach you to fight for what you believe in while staying connected to your heart. And for Aries, you are the sign Neptune just entered. This is your decade. This is your cosmic moment. Neptune in your 1st house means you are becoming the embodiment of spiritual courage, inspired action, and visionary leadership. Your identity is dissolving and reforming. Who you thought you were is being replaced by who you truly are. With Mars conjunct Pluto in your 11th house of community, friendships, and collective vision, you're being called to lead social change, to gather your tribe, to become the catalyst for transformation within groups. People will be drawn to your energy like moths to flame. Your presence will activate others. And over the next 13 years, you will discover that your purpose is not personal, it's collective. You are here to inspire humanity's next evolution. Now let's talk about what you actually do with this energy. Mars conjunct Pluto is not a time for hesitation. It is not a time for second guessing. It is not a time to play small or wait for permission. This conjunction demands action. Decisive, powerful, transformative action. If you've been sitting on a decision, make it today. If you've been tolerating a situation that drains your power, end it today. If you've been holding back your truth because you're afraid of the consequences, speak it today. Mars conjunct Pluto rewards courage and punishes avoidance. The energy is too intense to suppress. If you try to hold it in, it will manifest as frustration, anger, or explosive confrontations. But if you channel it consciously, if you use it to take the action your soul has been demanding, you will experience breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. However, there is shadow potential here that you must be aware of. Mars conjunct Pluto can manifest as power struggles, manipulation, obsession, or violence if the energy is not channeled constructively. You may encounter people trying to control you, or you may notice yourself trying to force outcomes. The key is conscious engagement with power. Ask yourself, am I acting from my highest self or from my wounded ego? Am I fighting for something sacred or fighting because I'm afraid? Am I using my power to create or to destroy? The universe is not asking you to be passive, it's asking you to be intentional. Powerful warriors know when to fight and when to walk away. Powerful leaders know the difference between force and strength. And with Neptune and Aries supporting this conjunction, you have access to spiritual guidance that will show you the path of highest integrity. This is also a powerful moment for collective action. Aquarius rules groups, communities, and humanitarian efforts. Mars conjunct Pluto here means movements for social justice, environmental protection, and systemic change will gain unstoppable momentum. If you feel called to join a cause, to protest, to organize, to use your voice for something larger than yourself, this is your cosmic green light. The spiritual warrior energy of Neptune in Aries, combined with the revolutionary force of Mars conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, creates the perfect conditions for ordinary people to create extraordinary change. You are not alone in this. Millions of souls are feeling the same call right now. Find your people, join forces, create the future together. Over the next 48 hours, pay close attention to your dreams. With Neptune freshly in Aries and Mars conjunct Pluto activating your subconscious power, your dreams will be vivid, symbolic, and prophetic. You may dream of fire, battles, warriors, or situations where you must make a choice between fear and courage. These are not random images. These are your higher self communicating the energies you're working with. Write them down. Meditate on them. They contain clues about your spiritual assignment for the next 13 years. You may also experience physical symptoms of this activation. Heat in your body, especially in your solar plexus or root chakra, restlessness or insomnia, sudden bursts of energy followed by exhaustion, intense emotions rising without obvious triggers. These are signs that your energy field is being upgraded. Your body is recalibrating to hold a higher frequency. Support yourself with grounding practices, physical movement, and conscious breath work. Let the old energy move through and out of you. Spiritually, this moment is asking you to become a warrior for your highest truth, not a soldier following orders. A warrior who knows why they fight. Neptune in Aries for 13 years means the next decade would be defined by those who have the courage to act on their spiritual visions. The passive spiritual seeker archetype is dissolving. The activated spiritual warrior is emerging. This means you take your meditation practice and turn it into action in the world. You take your intuitive downloads and manifest them into reality. You take your connection to the divine and use it to inspire others to connect with their own divinity. You stop waiting for someone else to save the world, and you become the one who does the saving, not through martyrdom, through empowered, inspired, spiritually guided action. Mars conjunct Pluto can also bring endings that feel sudden and final. Relationships, jobs, living situations, friendships, or entire chapters of your life may close today or over the next week. If this happens, trust it completely. The universe is not taking anything from you. It is clearing space for what belongs in your new timeline. Pluto's job is to destroy what is already dead, what is already rotting, what is already draining your life force, even if you've been too afraid to admit it. And Mars gives you the courage to walk away, to let go, to trust that something better is coming. This is not loss. This is liberation. Every ending today is a portal. Every death is a rebirth. Every breakdown is a breakthrough waiting to happen. As we move through the final days of January and into February, the energy will continue to build. On February 13th, Saturn enters Aries, joining Neptune and creating one of the most significant astrological alignments of the decade. On February 20th, Saturn and Neptune conjoin at 0 degrees Aries, an aspect that only happens every 30 years and marks the beginning of a new collective era. And on February 17th, there's a solar eclipse in Aquarius, amplifying all of this revolutionary energy even further. January 27th is not the climax, it's the ignition, it's the moment the match is struck. The fire is just beginning to spread. You are standing at a threshold right now. On one side is the life you've been living, the version of yourself you've been playing, the comfortable illusions you've been clinging to. On the other side is your destiny, your purpose, your highest timeline, your soul's true mission. Mars conjunct Pluto is the cosmic push that moves you across that threshold, whether you feel ready or not. Neptune in Aries is the spiritual fire that burns away everything that doesn't belong on the other side. And you are the one who must choose to walk through the flames. This threshold is not metaphorical. It is energetic, tangible, real. You can feel it in the space between your breaths, in the pause between your thoughts, in that split second before you make a decision. The old world is still visible behind you, familiar and predictable, calling you back with the voice of safety, of comfort, of what you've always known. It whispers that staying is easier, that changing is too risky, that who you've been is good enough. But your soul knows differently. Your soul has been straining against those old boundaries for months, maybe years, pressing against the walls of your current reality like a butterfly struggling to emerge from a chrysalis. And today, those walls finally crack open. The threshold asks you a question, not with words but with sensation, with knowing, with an undeniable pull from the future version of yourself who already exists on the other side. The question is simple and terrifying and exhilarating all at once. Will you cross? Will you leave behind the identity you constructed from fear, from other people's expectations, from the wounds that taught you to play small? Will you release your grip on the life that looks good on paper but feels hollow in your heart? Will you surrender the relationships that drain you, the work that numbs you, the habits that keep you trapped in cycles you've outgrown? Will you walk away from the version of yourself who needed permission, who waited for the perfect moment, who believed that staying safe was the same as staying alive? Because here's the truth, the universe wants you to understand. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not powerless. You are not too small to make a difference. You are a spiritual warrior incarnated at this exact moment in human history because the world needs what only you can bring. Your courage, your vision, your willingness to fight for something sacred, your refusal to accept a reality that doesn't honor the divine. Every experience you've survived, every hardship you've endured, every moment you felt broken or lost or alone, all of it was preparation for this. All of it was training. All of it was your soul being forged in the fires of transformation so that when this moment arrived, when the universe called you to step into your true power, you would be ready. The next 13 years will reveal what you're made of. They will show you what you're truly capable of. They will prove that you are so much more powerful than you ever allowed yourself to believe. But this revealing doesn't happen passively. It happens through action, through choice, through the willingness to cross threshold after threshold after threshold, even when you can't see where the path leads. Neptune in Aries will blur the edges of what you thought was possible, dissolving the boundaries between dream and reality, between vision and manifestation. And Mars conjunct Pluto gives you the raw force, the unstoppable drive, the primal power to make those visions real. But you must choose to use it. You must choose to step through. Some of you have been waiting for a sign, for permission, the proof that it's safe to change. This is that sign. This conjunction, this cosmic collision happening today is the universe screaming at you that the time is now. Not when you have more money, not when you have more support, not when you feel more confident or more prepared or more worthy. Now, today, in this exact moment as you're reading these words with your heart pounding and your breath quickening and something ancient awakening in your bones. The spiritual warrior doesn't wait for ideal conditions. The spiritual warrior creates them. And here's what happens when you choose to cross. When you finally release your death grip on who you used to be and step into the unknown territory of who you're becoming. The universe rushes in to meet you. Synchronicities explode. Doors that were locked suddenly swing open. People who match your new frequency appear as if summoned from thin air. Resources materialize. Opportunities align. Your intuition sharpens to the point where you can feel the future before it arrives. You begin moving with a certainty you've never experienced, guided by something so much larger than your individual mind, connected to a cosmic intelligence that knows exactly where you need to go and what you need to do. This is not magic. This is alignment. This is what happens when you finally stop resisting your destiny and start embodying it. But crossing the threshold requires you to leave things behind. Not everything can come with you into your new timeline. Some relationships will fall away, not because you stop caring, but because you're no longer a vibrational match for the dynamic you used to share. Some dreams will die, not because they were wrong, but because they belong to the old version of you, and the new version has bigger visions. Some parts of your identity will dissolve, not because you're losing yourself, but because you're finally becoming yourself, shedding the masks and roles and performances you adopted to survive in a world that wasn't ready for your truth. This loss is necessary. This death is sacred. You cannot carry the old life across the threshold. The passage is too narrow, the energy too refined. Only what is essential, only what is authentic, only what is aligned with your highest purpose makes it through. This activation you're feeling in your body right now, that electricity in your cells, that fire in your heart, that is not fear. That is recognition. Your soul remembers this frequency. Your soul has been here before, in other lifetimes, in other timelines, standing at the edge of transformation and choosing to leap. Maybe you were a warrior in ancient battles, fighting for freedom, for justice, for the protection of the vulnerable. Maybe you were a mystic, a healer, a revolutionary, someone who saw beyond the veil and dared to speak truth to power. Maybe you were a creator, an artist, a visionary, who brought beauty and meaning into a world that desperately needed it. Whatever role you played, whatever gifts you carried, you chose courage over comfort. You chose purpose over safety. You chose to serve something greater than yourself. And that choice, that pattern, that soul signature is encoded in your DNA, waiting to be activated again. You know how to do this. You know how to be brave. You know how to trust the universe, even when the path ahead is unclear. This is not your first transformation. This is not your first rebirth. This is not your first time standing at a cosmic crossroads and feeling the weight of destiny pressing against your chest. Your soul is ancient. Your soul is wise. Your soul has navigated darkness before and emerged carrying light. And today, on January 27th, 2026, one day after Neptune entered Aries, as Mars and Pluto collide in Aquarius and reshape the entire energetic field of this planet, you are being reminded of who you really are, not the small, scared, limited version you sometimes see in the mirror. The infinite, powerful, divinely guided spiritual warrior you came here to be. That warrior is not separate from you. That warrior is you. Underneath the doubt, underneath the conditioning, underneath every story you've been told about your limitations, there is a core of unshakable strength, a flame that cannot be extinguished, a knowing that you are here for a reason, and that reason is about to reveal itself in ways you never imagined. The threshold is not blocking you. The threshold is inviting you, and on the other side, your entire destiny is waiting. If this message activated something in your soul, leave a like and subscribe to stay connected to these transmissions and comment, "I am the spiritual warrior to seal this frequency into your timeline." The portal is open, your destiny is calling, and the next 13 years of your life begin right now. You are not imagining the power you feel. You are finally remembering it, and the universe is ready for you to use it.